Now, an entirely different matter. Last week, even more economic data continued to confirm that inflation is hammering working families all across America. In October, consumer prices saw their steepest spike in 3 decades, the worst inflation surge in more than 30 years. When I was back home last week, I heard constantly from Kentuckians who watched their gas prices and grocery prices literally soar. This is happening in every single state. Last month was the 5th straight month in which national consumer prices rose at least 5%. The Democrats' inflation crisis has gotten so bad that Washington Democrats have stopped trying to pretend that it's just transitory and are starting to admit that it's on them to fix it. The same Democrats who spent months denying that inflation was a lasting problem, the last people in America to wake up to this reality, are now convinced they're just the people to fix it. But their supposed solutions are more of the same absurd policies that helped dig this hole in the first place. After months of mostly ignoring the problem, President Biden finally responded to last week's inflation data by insisting that, quote, reversing this trend is a top priority for me. But surprise, the president's preferred solution just so happens to be the exact same reckless taxing and spending spree his administration has been pushing literally for months now. They cooked up this massive multi-trillion-dollar spending spree back when they were just saying inflation wasn't a major problem, and it was still time to spend like crazy. But now, miraculously, that exact same spending binge happens to be their prescription to fight inflation. So give me a break. This is just a sweeping socialist wish list in search of a justification. It's another megadose of the same radical recklessness that Republicans have warned against all along, that American families are already paying dearly for as we speak. But so far, Democrats seem intent on grabbing the hot stove yet again, and it's American families who stand to get burned. Now, one final matter. Last week, I had the honor of spending Veterans Day at the groundbreaking ceremony for Louisville's new VA hospital. We're finally going to replace the city's original VA medical center that was built almost 70 years ago. Kentucky veterans are going to get new, expanded options for the cutting-edge treatment that they richly deserve. The long-awaited groundbreaking was a special day for Kentucky and our heroes. But for me, the celebration also underscored how unfortunate and unacceptable it is that when it comes to our legislative duties here in Washington, this Democratic Senate majority is coming up short on supporting our service members past, present, and future. Today is November 15th. The full Senate should have considered, amended, and then passed an annual defense authorization bill months ago. That's how it normally works. It's a major bipartisan priority that the Senate majority focuses on as a matter of basic governance. But this unified Democratic government has been distracted from the people's business. They spent months behind closed doors putting together another reckless taxing and spending spree, and this obsession with party line wish lists has led Democrats to drop the ball on basic duties. Keeping our service members and our commanders waiting months for an NDAA is just one example. The Democratic majority has also completely dropped the ball on a bipartisan appropriations process. Oh, and by the way, President Biden's proposals for funding the government would have us cut defense spending after inflation. According to reports, China's recently tested a hypersonic vehicle that is capable of carrying nuclear weapons. Just this morning, according to some early press reports, Russia may have tested some kind of new anti-satellite weapon system. In the Middle East, President Biden's own advisors are saying that his rushed retreat from Afghanistan will open the door for terrorist resurgence. It is against this dangerous backdrop that our Democratic majority does not move an NDAA until mid-November. And President Biden doesn't want defense spending to keep pace with President Biden's inflation. So, Madam President, better late than never. I'm glad the Democratic leader says we will finally let the full Senate consider an NDAA. In the coming days, the Senate will need to have the kind of robust bipartisan floor process that is customary for this important bill, and will need to leave extraneous items on the sidelines.